Today we're going to make a wire jewellery hanger or wire tree. It's got the spiral design there. I've also got another tutorial for a different type of wire tree, so you can have a look for that one as well. We're going to use the 16 gauge wire today. And we need a cute little jar of some type, so I'm just using an old maple syrup jar. I'll just cut that little ring off. If you have any trouble taking the stickers off, just use some eucalyptus oil and that helps to take the sticky residue off. Just use whatever jar you sort of have on hand. Now for our wire lengths. For this tree here I've used 10 lengths of 15 inches, 20 lengths of 20 inches and 10 lengths of 25 inches. So I just start by measuring all those lengths out. So we've got the 3 different lengths of wire and there's 40 pieces in total. Now we can start making the spirals on each piece of wire. So really simple, just grabbing each piece of wire and with your jewellery pliers we just start bending the wire on one end in a spiral shape. At this point I just go ahead and make the spiral shapes with all of the shorter ones, so the 15-inch lengths and the 20-inch lengths. And I just leave the longer ones straight for now, and we'll put the spirals on them later. Now with our longer pieces, the 25-inch lengths, we just need to put them all together on one end, and then we're going to twist this end into a nice tight bunch. Really just twisting enough so it's going to be twisted to the top of the jar and maybe an extra couple of inches as well. So it's going to sort of give your tree a little bit of height by staying strong, a bit taller. Try and make sure those other ends are not getting too tangled up. I'm just trying to make sure that all the wires are twisted around each other. And the end that is twisted is going to sit inside your jar. I use the glue gun for this. You could use PVA glue or another type of glue, but obviously it would take longer to dry. So I'm just trying to glue it directly into the bottom of the jar. Trying not to get it on the sides of the jar because you can sort of see it from the outside. But it's not too noticeable once it's full with crystals, so don't stress too much about it. Just putting that bit on the bottom of the jar, and then I put some also onto the wire and then poke that quickly before the glue dries. Just poke it down gently into the bottom of the jar, into the glue that you've put down there. Then you just need to sit there and hold it until it's dry and set in place. Once it's dry, you should be able to feel if it's secured in place. But you can sort of clean up your bottle a little bit, get any bits of glue away, Now you can pop your crystal chips inside the jar. You could use something else if you wanted to, like sand or little stones. It really is good to have something that can sort of provide a little bit more weight to the tree and just sort of hold it down. So I just squeeze all my crystals in there. Obviously they're going to be quite small to squeeze in around the wires. I've got these small crystal chips here, so I'm just squeezing them in around that wire. Once your jar is full, we can move on to putting the rest of the wire into the jar. Now, I sort of like to start with the shorter pieces of wire first. They're going to be the bottom layer of the hanger. Just poking them into the little crystal chips. If you can get them down an inch or two, that would be good. We are going to glue them in place as well, just so they don't sort of spin out of the way. You do want to sort of place them where you hope that they will stay, at least for the base. You can always bend the ends of them into a new position, which is quite easy to do. So just going around and placing them in there until you've put all of those wires in. Then you can move on to the 20-inch lengths as well, and just putting them all in, trying to make sure they're sort of going in nice and even around the base. Once you've put all those spiraled wires in, you can just grab your glue and put a little bit more inside the jar now, just at the top there. I just sort of poke it in around the top there, and it's just going to secure these wires in place. You don't want them to be able to flop around easily when you move your jar. So this just holds them securely in place. Just wiping any excess glue off as well. I'm going to swap to a different camera angle now so you can see what it looks like from the side. I'm going to now just work on these top wires. So this is the part that we twisted up originally, the 25-inch lengths. I'm just separating about 5 of them out and then twisting the other 5 up just a little bit further. With those 5 that we've separated out, we are just going to spiral them on the ends and start to bend them down to create some height and fullness in the tree or the wire hanger. Having these ones twisted coming up the middle gives them a little bit more strength to be able to come up higher. So with these grouped ones in the middle here, I'm just going to twist them up a little bit, and then that gives our wire a chance to come off higher. Then you can start to just bring these wires off as well, off the side of the twisted part, so you can just put your spirals in them as well. Just bringing them off like branches on a tree. If you're making a tree, you'd want it to have a little bit of height and a sort of symmetrical shape to it. So you can just keep turning it around and seeing how it looks from different angles. You're basically just making the spirals into their own shape as you go, and you can sort of bring them down more or push them back up or closer in if you need to make the shape that you're after. Best way now is to just take a few steps back and have a look at it from a distance. It's hard to see when you're up really close to it. I'm going to really take my time now and just work with the wires to get them exactly how I want them to be. Once they're in place, it's easy just to sort of twist them all how you like and work them into spots that you want them. It's getting pretty close to how I want it now. I use it as a display for a lot of my wire wrapped jewellery pieces, and I also put some fairy lights through mine as well.